Pacquiao! £146.8 for the Pac-Man, 146.8 for Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
That's our job. That's our job, to entertain the crowd, to give you a good fight.
Floyd Mayweather weighs in 72.9 kilos, 72, 900, 160.38 pounds.
Feel about this? Well, I've been here so many times before, and just the atmosphere, the people, it's a great turnout, and I truly believe it's going to be a great event.
Floyd Mayweather had a heated first face-off with Manny Pacquiao ahead of their rematch, creating intense tension.
From Manny. Now, Manny has a lot of experience, at the highest level and competing at the highest level. And that makes this that much more interesting. But like I said before, there's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather. And he can tell you that himself. You're gonna have to take the whole room together. You're gonna have to put the whole world in the ring to beat me. I'm the best. Don't let don't let them trick you into getting your ass whooped again.
He's older than me. I'm still young, so and I'm always active with this sport. So what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind, because to get a different weight division is not that easy.
Manny looked completely ready, calm, focused, and ready for another high-stakes fight.
I'm back it because of boxing is my passion. I miss boxing, and I'm so thankful to God, because until now He gave me the strength, keep me safe, and give me good health. That's why Manny Pacquiao is still here, and I'm back.
The last man who said I'm back was Michael Jordan. He came back and he won 3 titles. Are you channeling some of that?
Well, this comeback is dedicated to the Lord my God that I'm serving. I'm excited to the fight. I'm really hungry to win again the fight and give the fans a good fight. And I know, and I know the fans, they're waiting for a good.
There were rumors that this fight would be called off, but Boxing Scene confirmed that it will happen when they said on X Mayweather agrees to a real fight. On Tuesday, Manny Pacquiao told Boxing Scene that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has officially agreed that their rematch on September 19th will be a professional boxing match. Insider Lance Pacquiao also says that the fight is officially on, and that Floyd has finally agreed to the terms and come forward to finish the deal.
Pacquiao says the fight is on, right? So we've been discussing this every day for the past couple of weeks, because I think Mayweather is a brilliant marketer and has been able to get us to do that. And he's saying, this is going to be an exhibition, that it's not going to be at the Sphere. Meanwhile, apparently he was already signed contracts that already had some upfront money, and Pacquiao's response was always, well, you have a deal. You can't get out of this. This is a real fight. There's no reason to have an exhibition, which I think a lot of insiders would agree. But now we understand yesterday there was a deadline given by Team Pacquiao and Pacquiao Promotions, but we have a fight, right, Lance?
Correct. Manny Pacquiao reached out to me yesterday. We talked on WhatsApp, actually, and he said the fight is on. Floyd has come to the table. Everything's fine. We're good to go. I know Floyd has come out with a statement today saying not everything's done. And I'm not gonna look. I used to work for them, so I'm not gonna call Fight Hype Floyd's mouthpiece.
Manny says Floyd has nowhere to run and that the rematch must happen professionally. He says it's very important to him and that he wants to teach Floyd a lesson in the ring.
He had no way to get out of that.
He has to fight.
Yes,
Is it going to be an exhibition or is it going to be a sanctioned match?
no sanction match.
Awesome. Manny, are you happy that you're going to get the second opportunity? It seems like you guys are going to actually get in there again. Are you very excited to redeem yourself?
Yeah.
I know you spoke a lot about you were injured in the first fight and all, but what would this win mean for you in particular? Personally, you've accomplished so much, 8th division world champion and all. But what would a win over Floyd mean to you?
Oh, this is very important.
want to give him a 1.
Is it a bragging rights thing for you, Manny? Like you can prove you're better than him? Nah, you can prove you're better than him. Is that what this is? This is about still showing you're better than him.
Teach him a lesson. I don't know. I think so.
Okay,
Hey, how do you like the new gym? You own now the Mayweather gym. Now it's the Pacquiao gym.
Oh, I like it. I'm excited.
I heard the Mayweather promotion CEO say that if you guys have a successful rematch, there could be a third one. Manny, are you open to a trilogy?
What is that?
With Floyd? Are you open to a trilogy? If they demand it.
We'll finish first.
Manny Pacquiao has gone back to training with coach Freddie Roach now that the fight is on. This means he is getting ready for the fight in a serious way as he goes back to a focused and disciplined camp setting. Pacquiao says he will start training again at Roach's gym. He says this shows how serious he is about getting ready, improving his conditioning, and getting back into top shape before the rematch.
So soon I'm going to start training for Mayweather fight. Yes.
Robert Garcia says that Floyd isn't working hard enough. Manny is also fully committed, running in the mountains, training hard, and pushing himself through tough workouts to stay in top shape.
Bet you Mayweather, people think, oh, Mayweather's out of shape, he's not training. I'll bet you different. Behind curtains, that was doing workouts. That's just to be in shape, to be able to box for 12 rounds. Mayweather's not killing himself in sparring. He's not killing his legs and running. But I bet you he's doing workouts that are not going to kill his legs and are not going to fuck him up when it comes to sparring. But I bet you he'll be in shape for the fight. And I bet you he's going to win by decision.
You think Mayweather decision? Manny's motivated.
Manny's burning himself out. Too much runs like a fucking true champion does. But he's 48.
Mayweather's older, Robert.
Yes, but he's not doing the same workouts that Manny's doing. Manny's showing it to the world. Manny's running in front of 50.
But he looks good when you watch.
He's running hard and his body can't take that much. His body can't take that much. Mayweather knows his body can't take that much. That's why he's doing different trainings to be in shape, but to be able to perform and to be fast and to win a decision. I give it.
Jose Ramirez, who trained with Manny Pacquiao in camp, says that Manny still looks sharp and dangerous in the gym. He says that during training sessions, Pacquiao would often knock out his sparring partners, which shows that his power hasn't faded with age. Ramirez says that Manny sticks to a strict schedule. He runs every day to stay in shape and keep his stamina high.
Camp I had with them, I was his mate. I mean, I was going, 8-round sparring sessions, dude.
What does Jose Ramirez learn from Manny Pacquiao when you're in camp with him 3 times? What did you pick up from him?
Honestly, his work ethic, and then
The best work ethic.
The best work
no
ethic,
days off,
man.
no light days.
Every morning we used to get together and run. Even on sparring days, he runs.
With 20, 30, 50 people, even in
Yeah,
Philly?
man, he has a lot of support out there. In the
That's
Philippines.
amazing. It's like a movie. It's like Rocky.
We would go to the mall, and just because people knew we were his sparring partners, they wanted a picture with us. So
He's the man.
We had a
He
lot
is
of
the
fans.
man. He's so humble, though. He doesn't know he's Manny Pacquiao. Very
Bro,
down to earth.
there was always like a crowd of 25 to 40 people outside the gym. from
And he's
ladies
nice
to
to
kids,
everybody.
just
He
waiting
gives
for
them
him.
money and
He just give them all money before he walked in.
yeah, he's very
you know?
generous.
And
He's very humble. He doesn't let the fame change him. Like you never let the fame change you or nothing. You're the same person I met when you were a kid. But what did you learn boxing-wise besides work ethic? Is there any punch you learned? Is there any defensive moves?
Pacquiao's sparring sessions are still a great way to see how driven and skilled he is. Ramirez talks about how Manny treats every round like it's a real fight and works hard in practice. He can still hit hard. And when training gets tough, his sparring partners often can't finish their sessions. This level of consistency shows that Pacquiao is still fighting at a world-class level, mixing speed, timing, and explosiveness that younger fighters have a hard time with. The way he stays sharp in the gym shows that he is disciplined and that he can still perform at the highest level. It's clear to those watching that Pacquiao's training reflects his championship mentality, showing that he still has the competitive edge and fighting spirit he had when he was younger.
Pacquiao always, what made Pacquiao very dangerous is that, he was very explosive. So there was punches that he just throw, he just throw, and all of a sudden, boom, boom.
Yeah, you don't see him coming.
It was that unexpected power. But it was put together by a combination of punches too. So
his feet set it up.
He had a heavy hand, so he used to snap his punches really good and pinpoint his shots really good. So he used to go to the top, body back to the top, and the second one would just boom, one punch.
What's the craziest thing you've seen him do in the gym, now sparring partner? Not you.
Oh, brother, I was lucky not to get hit by one of those left hands, but he dropped.
Everybody.
Every camp, he would drop one fighter, one sparring partner.
And that's
like
it.
Clean.
And they don't come back next camp.
Well, he dropped a couple in the Philippines, so they stayed there.
Paulie Marlin Agery and Lance Pacquiao talked about how the Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao rematch is still up in the air. They said that negotiations and public statements have made things even more confusing. Pacquiao says that Floyd never officially confirmed anything after rumors circulated about an exhibition fight. Pacquiao, on the other hand, said that the fight had to be a real professional match or it wouldn't happen at all. The conversation shows that Pacquiao seemed to be more vocal in moving the story along, even making announcements about new developments. Floyd stayed true to form and didn't say anything.
Pacquiao made announcements, no, they're not going to be a fight if it's not a real fight. Then now he's announcing the fight is on. Floyd never made any announcement afterwards. It reminds me of when Jake LaMotta was talking to his wife in Raging Bull. Who made you an authority? Well, all of a sudden you're an authority. Who made you?
He is half of this fight.
Well, yeah, but he's not the whole fight.
He's also
all of a sudden
one of the promoters
Who
as
made
well.
you an authority? Let's wait for the whole announcement first. All right, the fight's on. We got it. We always knew the fight was going to be on, did we not? Did I always tell you? I've been telling you. You got no choice. Right. You got no choice. The fight's on. The fight was always on. All right, go ahead, Lance.
Look, guys. This totally reminds me of when I covered Floyd during his career, and I would be told by his publicist Kelly Swanson, "Come on out to Las Vegas. Floyd will talk to you today." Getting to the gym, looking at Floyd, he's giving me stink eye. Like, is this guy going to talk to me today? I have come all this way to talk to him. Is he going to talk to me? I don't know. And then finally, at the last minute, hey, what do you need? So.
Manny says that this situation is similar to how Mayweather has acted in the past, when even journalists like Pacquiao weren't sure how to get a straight answer from him. People often have to guess until the last minute because Floyd's way of talking is so unpredictable. Algari says that Mayweather's negotiation style is very competitive, because Floyd rarely meets his opponents halfway. He would rather be in charge of this situation to make sure he wins, not just in the ring, but also in conversations, business deals, and how people see you. This way of thinking explains why it has taken so long to get clear about the fight. Even though there is still some doubt, the panel agrees that the fight always seemed unavoidable. They say that Floyd will make it official in his own way when he is completely ready. They tell people to be patient until then, because this is how Mayweather usually works.
This is the contract we signed. Yes, it is a fight.
Jazz Mather says that since there is so much money at stake in the fight, it is unlikely that either side will give up, especially since Netflix is a global platform with a lot of potential. He says that Floyd Mayweather only cares about money, and once he knows how big the deal is, it should move things along. Mather says that negotiations are now being handled by lawyers instead of Floyd directly, which has made things more complicated. He says that even though there have been some back and forth and delays, everyone is making progress and working towards a solution. A strict deadline has been set, which makes it important to finish the deal quickly. Mather still thinks that better sense will win out, and he thinks that the financial benefits and global exposure will convince Floyd's team to sign on. But he knows that if the terms aren't met, he might have to think about other options and even take legal action.
Undefeated fighter, and you are.
Yeah.
What I can say is, like, he's a self-proclaimed GOAT.
Right.
Self-proclaimed GOAT, because he cannot claim, he can't even claim in which part that he can claim that he's the only. He cannot claim that he's the only undefeated fighter who retired. There's lot of fighters, at least more than 15 fighters who undefeated, retired undefeated. So, but I can claim with some of those. The only 8 division, and the only fighter who became a world champion in 4 decades, 4 different decades. 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020. So, but I'm not raising my own chair. I let the fans decide.
Your chair high. Your chair is high already, man.
I mean,
that's it.
And you came 1 point away from having a belt in the 2020s. Oh no, you already had a belt in the 2020s.
2020, yes.
Yeah. So, pardon me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So that's 4 decades. You know,
yeah, it's pretty good.
Jazz Mather says that since there is so much money at stake in the fight, it is unlikely that either side will give up, especially since Netflix is a global platform with a lot of potential. He says that Floyd Mayweather only cares about money, and once he knows how big the deal is, it should move things along. Mather says that negotiations are now being handled by lawyers instead of Floyd directly, which has made things more complicated. He says that even though there have been some back and forth and delays, everyone is making progress and working towards a solution. A strict deadline has been set, which makes it important to finish the deal quickly. Mather still thinks that better sense will win out, and he thinks that the financial benefits and global exposure will convince Floyd's team to sign on. But he knows that if the terms aren't met, he might have to think about other options and even take legal action.
He cares about money. And all that Floyd needs to see is, you know, whoever is managing or representing Floyd today, I personally...
It's hard to keep track.
It's hard to keep track. I don't know what's going on over there.
Have you been in negotiations over the past week since Floyd started backtracking?
The attorneys are.
So you not and
directly.
who are they? Are they? They're dealing with Floyd's attorneys, not Floyd, correct?
Correct. We're dealing with attorneys. I mean, he's communicating with some of the other the production partners and such. There is direct conversation and stuff happening, but they just have to see the light as to the platform and the size of what Netflix is and what all opportunities it can bring.
So, Jazz, let me ask you this: What is the deadline? Obviously, Netflix already announced that you have to. What is the hard deadline to get this resolved?
Tomorrow.
What time?
14th. End of business day.
End of business tomorrow.
Yeah. And we're getting ahead. We're getting ahead. As long as he's got smart people around him that can see the size of the opportunity, then they can make him a lot of money, more money than he's made in the last 5.
Wade Clement says that this fight is clearly dangerous because it is based on the idea of two GOATs, with Manny Pacquiao being an 8-division world champion. He says that even though the label sounds strong, the truth is that both fighters are no longer at their best, even though they still have big names. He says that Pacquiao, who is 46 years old, still looked good against Mario Barrios, which means he can still compete at some level. Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, has stayed busy with a number of exhibitions, including fights with Logan Paul and John Gotti III. He still has good reflexes, even though the competition is different.
That this is supposed to be the two GOATs, like Manny Pacquiao, 8-division world champ. What are we talking about? And he doesn't necessarily look like that, but I will say Manny looked decent enough. I get 46 years old versus Mario Barrios, so he still got it at least to some degree. And we've seen Floyd in these exhibitions, you know, with Leah Gotti's stepbrother. If you know, you know. John Gotti III. We've seen him against Logan Paul. We've seen him in these Deji, these exhibitions where he still has his reflexes. He still can fight. But oddly enough, this might be a hot take. When I watch it this second time around, you know, Manny had the shoulder issue the first time in 2015, and they were still at the top of boxing, but their skills were fading. But this time around, them being a little older, a little slower, you may get a better fight out of it. Not necessarily a better looking aesthetically or higher skilled, but you may get a better, just a generally better fight. And again, you do something like this because it was at the time and still is the most watched behind pay-per-view fight ever. They generated $600 million, I think, or something like that.
Clement says that even though neither fighter is at their best right now, like they were in 2010 or 2015, that decline could make the rematch more fun in a different way. It might not be the best version of either fighter, but it could still lead to a more action-packed fight than their first meeting. He also talks about how much money they made, saying that their first fight made about $600 million and became the most watched pay-per-view boxing event of all time. If you used a platform like Netflix instead of pay-per-view, you could reach even more people around the world. He agrees with people who say that boxing should focus more on making new stars, but he says that these kinds of big fights are still worth having as long as legends can still fight and draw big crowds.
Netflix, which doesn't, I mean, yes, it has a paywall, but it's not pay-per-view behind that. You're going to get a lot of people that tune into this thing once again, just for that last go around, that last ride off into the sunset. So I listen, I don't think we're going to see anywhere near the skill that we would have seen had this been 2011, 2010 when it should have happened, but we still are going to get a decent enough fight. And I get both sides of the argument here when you're talking about, do we want to see it? Is it really good for the sport? Do we really need to see it? Are we going to have a better way of building the next generation of fighters to where we don't have to rely on these big one-off, exhibition type fights? I get all that and I hear it all, but I also think there's something to be said for if guys still have the ability, if they still are with it mentally and physically, and they still can draw a crowd, who's to say that we should stop them from fighting? It may not be the best look that this is who you get the biggest viewing numbers for, and that should be an indictment on boxing building its next generation.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.